In 1985, there was chaos in our country. My parents were dating. And in January of 1986, the NRA took power, and there was tranquility at the time. My parents eventually gave birth to me in 1986 December, that very year. Right, Honorable Speaker, my parents had a debate about the name to give me. And they wanted to name me Yoweri, in memory of the man who led the war to bring tranquility to our country. But as they had further debate about it, they decided to give me the English version of the name Yoweri. And that's how I get to be called Joel. Honorable Speaker, when I look back at the 39 years of the man after whom I was named, I am disturbed. I am disgruntled. And I think that the hero after whom I was named became a shadow of his former past. I have a little book, among other books in my house, called the 10-Point Program. It's a little book. I want to encourage especially members of the NRM to read that book, because I'm sure many of you have not read it. You just hear about it. Please get a copy of that book, the 10-Point Program. It's a very small book. You can read it in even 30 minutes if you're a fast reader. The 10-Point Program. An amazing book. Honorable Speaker, point number 7 of the 10 points is elimination of corruption and misuse of power. If I'm to use just that yardstick, if I had more time, I would go over all the 10, but I'll just dwell on that number 7. Elimination of corruption and misuse of power. Honorable Speaker, we lose over 10 trillion shillings to corruption every year under the NRM government that promised to eliminate corruption. I hope that you score yourselves and see how you are doing today. And by the way, the report of 10 trillion shillings, that's your government report. If it was my assessment, you would say, L.O.P, you're just making these things up. I hope that you assess yourselves. Misuse of power, Right Honorable Speaker. There was a time, I was in the media, and some research was done among the citizenry. And each time that research was done, they were asking, are you more confident of police or UPDF? Each time that research was done, the citizens would say they were more confident about the UPDF. They prided themselves more in the UPDF. That's the army that brought this regime into power. I don't know if that research was done today, a similar response would come from the citizenry. Honorable Speaker, there are some officers of the UPDF, both senior and junior, who respect the rule of law and whom we salute and acknowledge. But, Honorable Speaker, there are some senior and junior UPDF officers who totally disregard the law. We see some of them threatening to behead leaders in this country, to hang others in this country. They call some of their colleagues buffoons. They are fellow senior officers in uniform. I hope that you can score yourselves on the misuse of power that is held by some of these senior officers. Finally, Right Honorable Speaker, court-martial, which was introduced by this regime to discipline serving military officers, has become another example of misuse of power. Civilians are arraigned before this court, persecuted in a manner so wanton, they'll be denied bail for 4 years and more. Leaders in this country, respectable leaders like Dr. Kanokiza Besigye, who fought to bring this regime to power, is now being persecuted under the court-martial. I hope that this regime can make a good assessment of yourselves 39 years down the road. And hopefully you can be ashamed of certain things The same way you are celebrating some things. And it's okay to celebrate certain things. But I hope you can say, this is shameful, we need to do better. Thank you.